Hey guys, it's Philip, and today I want to talk to you about my garage gym setup. I've been building it for about a year and a half, and now that I look around, it's pretty dark in here, so I think I need to turn these lights on. Yeah, that's better. So I've built this space to be more of a power building space. I like to do a lot of barbell movements, a lot of your traditional powerlifting movements, but I also like bodybuilding accessories. So I've really built this gym out to kind of mimic that kind of training style. So I guess I'll start with my essentials. I have a Rep PR 5000 power rack. This is the center of my gym, and I love it. It's an 80-inch tall with the drop-down safeties. I've got Titan monoliths, which I just got this Black Friday, and I've really enjoyed them so far. They've mainly been for benching, but they just make it so much more enjoyable to bench. It's just like a free handoff, so really like those. I got my flat pull-up bar on the back. I went ahead and removed the big, rear cross member that the PR 5000 comes with because I wasn't getting to use that pull-up bar. But my main pull-up bar I've got is the multi-grip pull-up bar. I do quite a few pull-ups. In a garage gym, pull-ups are your back's best friend. And so with this, you can do all kinds of different types of pull-ups. You can hang bands from it for warm-ups. You can do a lot with a pull-up bar. So I really wanted this pull-up bar. Now on the power rack are my plates. I have 6 pairs of Rogue deep dish steel plates. I really like them. They're a great price for what they are. They're very nice, machined, milled. And they're a little bit thicker, so they're that vintage look, but they also help when I want to do deadlifts on my platform. I think they're a little easier on the platform. So I really like those. I've had those for about a year now. And in addition to those plates, I just have some generic beater plates, some change plates. I got some 10s, 5s, and 2.5s. So inside the power rack, I actually have an FB 5000, and I really, really like it. I actually took the pad off of it though, and I have Frankenstein a Griffin Fitness wide pad onto it. I really enjoy it. When you're a bigger guy, you need a little bit thicker pad to really feel comfortable. And so if you have an FB 5000 and you can't get one of their wide pads because they're never in stock, the Griffin Fitness wide pad will fit perfectly on it, and it works great. So as I mentioned, I like to do some types of barbell movements. So I have also a Rep AB 5200 adjustable bench, and I really like this bench. It's a ladder style bench, so it's really easy to adjust. Really get a lot of good use out of this. As some other people have noted in the past, the back pad on this thing is a little bit shaky coming from the factory when you get it. So I've actually put the washers on there to make it more stable. There's a tutorial on that by Twisted Barbell, and so he takes care of that, does exactly what I've done, and makes this just a little bit more stable. But as far as the bench goes, this thing is a beast. It's over 120 pounds, I believe. It's pretty tough to move around, but one of the great things about it is you can actually store it vertically. And so I can get it out of the way when I'm not using it. Just like that. One of my last essentials that I need to cover is my barbells. So I have a 6-position gun rack for my barbells. I shouldn't have gotten a 6-position gun rack because I knew I was going to have to fill it up, and it's pretty expensive. So my collection of barbells is, I would say, pretty varied. I can do quite a bit with them. Starting at the top, I have an Edge Fitness multi-grip slim football bar. I really enjoy this bar. It's built like a tank. It's not going to let you down when you have heavier weights. The one thing I can say that I would like better about this bar, if it was changed, is the handles are not knurled. So when you have a heavier weight on it, sometimes your grip feels like it can kind of be going. But overall, it's a great bar. I use it for pressing movements, and I throw it into the rack for body weight rows, just to change it up. On the bottom here is my axle bar. This was from Titan Fitness, and I feel like everybody should have an axle bar. They're not very expensive, but you can do a lot with them. This can be a great landmine bar alternative, and I personally do a lot of body weight rows, so I use this to challenge my grip a little bit more, to work on that grip strength while I'm doing my rows. Down here is actually the first bar that I ever got. This is a Rep Power Bar EX Deep Knurl. It's fully stainless. It's a great bar, very solid, and it lives up to its name as far as the knurling is concerned. Coming from a Globo gym type environment where the bars were not very knurled, this thing is tough. It's tough. You can use it, but I was planning on having this as a daily driver, and that proved to be futile pretty quickly. So I actually invested in this Ohio Power Bar, which is in black Cerakote. I love the Cerakote feel, the chalky feel of it. You know, some people say it's not grippy enough, but I really feel like it grips well, and it looks incredible. So this is probably the bar that I use the most out of all of these bars. Finishing up, I have an Ohio deadlift bar in the olive drab Cerakote. Again, big Cerakote fan. And I really like this bar. It's just a joy to do deadlifts on. It's different. If you haven't used a deadlift bar, you're not necessarily going to do more weight just because of the whip. It can kind of whip around and throw you off at first. As a matter of fact, I almost went through my garage door the first time I used this. So beware if you have a platform like me right in front of your garage door. Finishing up my bars, I actually have a Titan Fitness SSB. I love this. You hear lots of good things online about this specialty bar, and I can say, as far as I'm concerned, they're all warranted. This is a very solid bar. It feels good on your shoulders, and it's just a nice change up from squats. So typically I like to use this bar like every third weekend, you know, to do instead of barbell back squats, just to change it up. And so you can do a lot with this bar as well. Typically I use it just for the SSB squats, but it's a great bar to do good mornings with and the such. So that's all of my bars. Moving on to probably, I would say, the last thing that you really should have in your home gym as far as utility is concerned is dumbbells. And so I went with an adjustable dumbbell. I actually have a review of them on my channel. And these are the badass adjustable dumbbells. So after having them for a while, I would generally recommend them. I enjoy using them, making them very heavy, and I have videos on my channel of me using them when they're loaded heavy, but that's mainly their biggest benefit is you can load them incredibly heavy. They're very, very sturdy and durable, and you're just going to be able to trust that when you do them heavy, if you drop them, you don't have to just be super easy with them. They're not a power block. You don't void the warranty if you drop these. So I really do like these. They're a bit unrefined, but overall I would recommend them. So I have the pair that is actually 5 to 172.5 pounds per dumbbell. And I've gone up to 170 loaded on one of these, and it felt great. So really like these. It's actually on a stand that one of my buddies custom fabricated for me. That's pretty standard, but it was very nice getting these off of the floor, getting all the plates off of the floor, and it just makes it look much nicer. So I've covered the essentials. I want to go over some of the other things that you don't necessarily need, but they make a home gym nice. And that would include this lat low row. So this is just a Titan Fitness plate loaded lat low row. I really enjoy it. It's not as beefy as its big brother, the selectorized version, but it does the job. If you grease up the rails, it feels buttery smooth, and you can load it pretty heavy. It's plate loaded, so I get to use the plates that I already have, but it's not really a problem because I leave a set of plates over there to use with it that are just kind of hand-me-down knockoff plates. So I really enjoy this piece. I think it adds a lot. It gives you extra back movements, but it also gives your back a break from pull-ups sometimes. Because when you weigh 260 pounds, pull-ups are tough if you do them consistently. So this just gives my biceps and my forearms a little bit of a break. And I can go a little heavier, challenge my body differently with it. And I can also use it for rudimentary, tricep extensions, some types of curls. And so it really works as a simple pulley system as well. So I really like this piece and I would recommend it. The second thing that I have that is not as versatile, but I would definitely recommend, is a belt squat. This is the Titan Fitness belt squat. It's the V2 actually, that has an adjustable lever so that you're not right on this handle when you pull it back. But I really like this part because if your back is hurting, you can do this instead. So at worst, it's a great accessory. It hits your quads amazingly. And at best, if you're hurt, you still can do a squat type movement on this. So I think this is pretty invaluable as a piece. It takes up a lot of space, but I love this piece since I've gotten it. It's probably one of my favorite pieces. And to finish up just my little accessory machines, I have a simple Nautilus back extension. Nothing fancy about this, but it's great. It's built solid. It's a Nautilus brand, and if you know, Nautilus is pretty reputable, so it feels great. So now I'm just gonna go over some other smaller things. I do have a deadlift platform. This is actually the first thing that I built in here. So I built it out of the plywood. This is actually a 4x8. The plywood, I got some rubber salt mats, and then the centerpiece, I actually have finished plywood on it, which I have put a logo on, just a generic logo that I found off of the internet. And I've stained and clear coated it, so it still looks pretty nice. And on top of it is actually my deadlift jack. This is a Titan Fitness deadlift jack, and if you don't have a deadlift jack and you have space, you need to get one. They're not very expensive, and they are just an experience. It's a pleasure using this, especially when you go heavier on deadlifts. And just down here is a bucket of chalk. No fancy chalk bowl, but got quite a bit of chalk there. Some other just little miscellaneous pieces. Got a curl bar from Archon Fitness. This is just a Cerakote curl bar. Nothing super fancy, but I love this curl bar. It's built great. The sleeves are tight on there. It has chrome sleeves with black Cerakote shaft, and it's a very reasonable price. Out of any curl bar that I've seen on the internet, I would recommend this curl bar. If you're just looking for one that's sub $100, this is a great selection. Moving over here, I have a wall control unit that I kind of copped because of Pluck and Garage Gym gains. On it I have some of my attachments. This is just a crappy little Titan attachment that came with the rack, but this is a rope from Garage Gym Fit, nothing fancy, and a easy curl bar attachment with my collars. And then I have a shelf up here for my knee sleeves and the elbow sleeves that I use when my elbows aren't feeling super great. Got some other things, some hip circles, some bands. I got some wrist wraps, some straps, and some belts. So I have, this is kind of my beater belt. This is my Pioneer 10mm double suede single prong. This was the first major belt that I got. I love this belt, but I have upgraded to a lever belt, and so it kind of hangs out here. Second in line was a Pioneer 10mm double suede belt, but it was actually a lever belt, and I have replaced the lever on it with a stainless steel lever that's sold by Beltfed Strength. If you haven't heard of them, go look them up. They're amazing. The owner is awesome, and he sells awesome products. Speaking of him, this is my Beltfed Strength belt. This is my belt to end all belts. I probably won't ever get another belt after this one. It's a 13mm single suede. Inside is a black suede, and it's a custom dyed job. So it is black threading with a red to black fade dye all the way around, and it has the phrase Baby Giant carved into it. And I really, really like this belt. This is awesome. It's a great piece of just craftsmanship, and it's awesome. So I've also Frankensteined a Pioneer adjustable lever onto it. I don't know how you get any more bougie than this belt, but it's amazing. So that's about it with my accessories. Some other small things to note. I have a Air King fan in here. It's a wall mounted fan. I tried to mount it kind of out of the way, and it really does the job in summer. We're in Tennessee, so the summers get pretty hot, and this fan does phenomenally. I really enjoy it. And on the other side, when it gets too cold, I have my little Dr. heater. Now, it's debatable whether that warms up the space adequately, but for me, it's done the job. I just let it run about 30 minutes ahead of a workout, and it feels pretty good in here if you have a sweatshirt on until you warm up. And just some other small things. It's my dip attachment from Rep, and my homemade dip belt that I made. This was actually a Redcon 1 Black Friday deal. It came with this little dinky belt, and I decided instead of buying a dip belt, I would go to Home Depot, buy some chain and some carabiners, and make my own dip belt off of this, because I had no idea what else I wanted to use this for. Probably cost me more than an actual dip belt, but it was a fun little project. So pretty much other than that, just the ambiance, I went with some flags from Zero Foxtrot. And I just feel like the flags with the sayings are a little bit corny, so I went edgy instead. So every single flag that I have in here is a skull, but I really enjoy them. So that pretty much wraps it up. Got quite a bit of equipment. Of course, it's a garage gym, so you're never done. So there will probably be more pieces in the future, but so far this is what I have. It's pretty much all I need to get all of the work that I need to get done. And so if you guys have any questions about it, just comment. Just tell me what you think. Tell me what you think I could add, and I'll catch you guys later.